I'm joined by Johnny here from Full Time Devils. Dave is from Squawker. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for these two gentlemen.
Woo! It's here for the guys.
Now, I say it's a Manchester United, Manchester City thing, but you're both Manchester United fans.
Both Reds. Yeah,
Are there any Man City fans in? Any Man United fans in?
Yeah.
Woo! Wow. So how did you two notorious Mancunians become Manchester fans?
Well,
No. You are a Mancunian.
I'm from Manchester, yeah. So
That is clearly a Mancunian accent. Where are you from?
Burnley. Should be following them really, but they're not very good. So,
Hey,
you know.
you know what? I don't go with that. You know, I feel that you've got to go with a team that you love. If you love that team, you know, people say, "Oh, support your team where you come from." I came from in and around Millwall. I liked them for a bit, but then they slaughtered me. So I support Arsenal now. Arsenal's my team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to go with a team what you love. It's like we done a show one time on radio where we say, who would you support if you had the choice? Not your uncle, your dad, or someone. That's how it should be. You should be able to pick your own team wherever you come from.
Choose your friends, not your family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice one. So
Now tell me about.
let's
I've
talk
got
about
to
other stuff.
speak. I mean, you like myself were in mourning after losing at the weekend. Being a Spurs fan, of course, we lost to Brighty's.
took me about a day, maybe half this day just to get over it. It's got to
You're
work.
still not over it,
No,
bro. I
really
can see it in your
not.
face.
What was it? What happened with it? The way you played, the team selection.
I think it was, we weren't really like up for it really. It seemed like we got to the final third, but then from that final third forwards, we sort of got stuck. We didn't really pressurise them when we were in their half. We sort of lost the ball, then we trapped back, and we fit those two banks of four with a 1-1. You can see that by a stat of didn't complete any tackles in their half, which means we're backing off. We're retreating back into our own half, which in a derby you want to be up for it. You want to be in their faces. You want to be making those tackles, smashing them.
Do you think that Alex Ferguson in that dressing room, they would have just had that? They'd have had that. I get the impression that Man United fans are almost waiting for him to fail so as they can say, see, you shouldn't have got him. Am I right or wrong?
I don't know, I think it's just a bit of Moyes is a bit scared maybe with the media behind him. He's picking Ryan Giggs, he's picking Ashley Young, these are experienced players where he could go out there, go with Shinji Kagawa, start Nani, these sorts of things. It's a bit mad to me. It seems like the media he's a bit in fear in a way.
I just need to stop you a sec just to give some breaking news. Shane Long has gone to Hull, that's confirmed, £5 million. Shane Long. Why have they got rid of him? They can't score goals now, West Brom. Have they got someone else? I'm not saying he's not going to score. He's going to score goals, but he's a striker. Sorry to stop you, but we just need to get that out because it's a transfer show. I'm sorry, my friend. What are you saying? Go on, Dan.
Just continue on. If we move on to City's start of the season, last season they were those three lads behind the big striker. They were creating chances in the centre of the park. This season, it's more down the right hand side. It's that Navas. It's Zabaleta. They created 30% of City's chances this season. So maybe it's moving on from them playing that way to this new way under a new manager, which for me it's progressive. They might have lost that game midweek, but it's positive.
So can I just say, John, in respects of Man United, the way they're playing now under Moyes, so what you're saying is Moyes got too much respect for the players that's in the dressing room? Is he scared to make decisions? Is he scared to upset it?
I think he's finding it hard to adapt. If you think about all the old Merseyside derbies, Everton v Liverpool, really job affairs for the last 4 or 5 years. That's because the toughest goal there and set up to it's a game of containment.
Yes.
They don't try and attack and try and take them to the sword.
Yeah.
They try and limit what Liverpool do. They try and do 0-0s, 1-1s, a lot of bookings, nothing really happens.
Yeah.
And it felt a lot like that. We had very little going forward, 2 defensive mids. But the thing is, you've got to give credit to Brendan Rodgers. They didn't allow us to play. They were pressing really hard.
But that's Man United. I know they were pressing you, but still, it's Man United.
It is. And then if you've got Ashley Young and Giggs on the right, as inverted players, it's too congested in certain areas. But looking forward, there's no Lincoln, there's no Kagawa, no Rooney. Van Persie's picking fights with Skirtle and Gerrard. He's not doing what he does best by little movements getting into space.
Very frustrated as well. You didn't get much service. You did get that chance right at the end. But...
Yeah. An old song, Van Persie would have buried that. When you just think, is it just as Gerrard and Skirtle got to him through the game, you start getting too wound up a bit like Wayne Rooney used to. I don't know.
Can I ask you, as Man United fans, I suppose this is something Jamie Redknapp picked up on, is just how humiliating it feels on transfer deadline day for you not to have done anything, really.
Do you feel that?
I think certainly.
Is humiliating the right word?
It's
Do you
pretty
feel
embarrassing,
yeah?
It is. I mean, you look at like Spurs and most embarrassing, am I going to say this, Liverpool, quietly gone about their business, picking up not world-class players, not world beats, but under-the-radar players who have a lot of potential for bargains that are going to become very, very good in 3 or 4 years' time. And that's what we should have been doing with the Moyes, because I don't think with the draw we were under Ferguson. We're not an oligarch, we're not a steel magnate, we don't have the petrodollars at PSG or City. We can't say like, here you go, 40 million for Fernandinho, who I thought wasn't that good, but is actually chillingly quite good.
Yeah.
He's a step above Gareth Barry. I thought he was on the same kind of level, but we just don't have that power anymore. And I think you have to kind of like just think a bit more smart. You can't say, "Hey, I want Fabregas," publicly state it, because it's then embarrassing when he doesn't want to come or doesn't. Because I think it was his agent developing that. The thing with Thiago Alcantara. I know that Pep's got his ear, and he's just saying like, come on, get over here, and we'll have you. But why didn't we push that through?
But what about sorry, Nick? What about last season though, in respects of the team what you've got now? We're not talking about, yes, Giggs is a certain age now. We know he's going towards 40 in that, but that team won the Premiership by 11 points. Are they that much off of it?
I think the also runs were so poor. We won because of that. We won because of like Mancini's ineptness. The fact that Chelsea were having so much infighting with Rafa Benitez. Everyone hated them. All the fans hated them.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal just would get the odd win and then just couldn't string the results together. Just getting beaten at the back. And they had no spine. A bit like, I know they bought Ozil, but that's what we were inferring before. It's still going to be a bit of a problem for them with Mertesacker, Koscielny. Not convinced. Flamini, is he past it? They don't have an anchor man.
I think Flamini might be, because playing Mertesacker worries me. He always worries because of the pace, and if you get sharp forwards around him, then you feel that he might struggle. But I think with Flamini, maybe that he might stop the progress of people attacking Mertesacker a bit more. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's what I feel.
Wright got into a bit of trouble with Arsenal fans when he said Suarez shouldn't go to Arsenal. If I was Suarez, I wouldn't go to Arsenal. If you were a player and you had big teams coming in for you, would you go and play for Moyes? Not Man United, Moyes.
But I don't think it is David Moyes, it is Man United. You can't just, a new manager comes and goes. You got all those players, you got Rio, you got Giggs, all these.
But a team is only as good as its manager, surely. I mean, just because you've got the name Manchester United doesn't mean anything.
Same thing with the company, it's only as good as its CEO.
If Glenn Roeder was managing, no disrespect to Glenn Roeder, but I mean, if Glenn Roeder was managing Manchester United, would you be the team?
It's more of these players that are coming back. Phil Neville, they're winners, born winners that are there. They're around the squad all the time. The players in the squad at the moment, they're winners. They won the league last year.
Moyes would have any influence on whether a player would choose, or a player's agent, most importantly?
I think it's more to do with the new chief exec. David Gill got slated for, maybe doing the wrong things in terms of the Glazers and that, but he made the good signings. He made them early in the window. With this new lad, we're not, it's his first window pretty much. He had January and that. I don't know if he's the same sort of level. Can he pull it? David Gill must have, got the player in, maybe had a nice chat with him and sold him the dream of Man United. Maybe.
Do you think the mystique and the dream of Man United now, in respect to someone selling it to them without Fergie there, it kind of makes them think, well, I'm not sure. Because for me personally now, when you look at all the teams now and what's going on, I thought City would have started a lot better than they have. They're playing pretty boring, kind of ugly stuff, but they're winning.
Yeah.
But in respect of United, I think to myself, well, if there's so many other teams that you could choose from now, apart from United now. Like for me, I think you need Wayne Rooney in your team. You need Wayne Rooney.
Well, it's something I've considered for a while. I think we've dropped and everybody else has taken on a stage. So now there's like 5 or 6 competing for that top 3 places. There wasn't before.
So would you say that last season, by everybody being under par, it's kind of like whitewashed?
Everyone's under par, and that's how it happened.
Wow.
Say Robin van Persie.
Fluky title.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not saying that.
Can't say but still, it's Man United who won it because they're winners. You can't take that away from them.
Yeah, Van Persie, he won them an extra 21 points last season from his goals, from him scoring goals. So that's pretty big. You look at Aguero when City won the championship, he won an extra 24 points. So if you take those points off those 2 clubs, they both finished 6th.
Wow.
So these are big players for them, both of them. So without them, Aguero was poor last season, only completed 90 minutes 9 times, whereas compare that to Van Persie last season when he was bagging it in, completed 90 minutes 31 times. That's the sort of difference you get in the real influence in the side.
Cracking stats.
Cheers.
Wow,
Machine this fellow, isn't he?
Go on, my son.
Oh,
You need to get a girlfriend, possibly.
I've got a young lady in Germany actually.
Oh, right, that's why then. No, that makes sense.